Hello and welcome to the Afrocentrist podcast. My name is Ejiro Sakede, and today we'll be talking about business model that lasts. So today on the show, we're going to be talking about a very important topic, right? Especially for those of you who are in business or thinking about going into business, right? So there is this thing about business model. I don't know if you've heard about it, but I'm sure you have if you're already interested in being in the business space. So you need to understand what a business model is. But not just generally about business model. My guest today, the person that we're going to be talking to, is sharing a very, very peculiar perspective about business modeling, especially for all the entrepreneurs with this spread of entrepreneurs coming up, especially for developing countries like Nigeria or Africa, the countries in Africa, right? There's that thing like, okay, feels like our government are not doing well, so everybody's beginning to be the government of themselves, and then they're trying to, become, entrepreneurs and start a business. But there's still a missing link. There's still a gap in that space of the way or the model that people are running that might not be sustainable, that might not last for so many years, right? And that is what my guest today is going to be talking about, Oluwatosin Ogige. So she's going to be sharing her perspective. I'm really fascinated about her perspective, and I can't wait for you to hear that. So don't go anywhere, relax, grab a cup of tea, a cup of coffee, and I'll be right back with my guest as we dive into this discussion. See you in a bit. Welcome back. I'm here with my guest, and like I said, we're talking about business models, but from a very peculiar or particular perspective. So welcome, Oluwatosin Ogige. How are you doing today?
Fine, thank you. Thank you for having me. So big pleasure to be here on your show. Yes.
Indeed. Thank you for availing yourself to be here. So let's just dive into it. But first, I will not assume that everybody knows what business model is, right? Or would I put it that way? Or would I just say just let's refresh people's minds so it doesn't look like, of course, we know what it is, right? So what is a business model?
All right. So I see business model in two ways. I'm sure everybody will be able to understand that. I'm not doing definitions really, but I'm saying when we talk about business model, there's a part in your business plan. In your business plan, there's always this portion, this section that talks about your business model. And that talks about how do you want to actually present your business to the world? I mean, how would you be seen? What strategies would you employ? There are different types of, the different types that you could choose. You could say, we want to go on freemium means we start with freebies, then we start upselling people, or we want to just be premium priced. We don't want to be for everybody. That's that. Okay. And there's another time we talk about business model. That's like an entire, there's this business model canvas. Now the canvas is the short form. So this is a situation where you are actually bringing out your business model and looking at it like it's actually the business plan. Yes. So at that point, you begin to really consider everything, everybody that is involved, every matter, every element, every people. At that point, I mean, that is a more expanded form of business model. And that's where I actually sit. That's what I sit on. The other one that is in your business plan is supposed to just be talking about things you can actually change with time. You can tweak them, and it can be sitting on your pricing level. It can be sitting on your production. It can be sitting on how you structure your organization. The business model there is different. But this particular one is after you have, it's like that one that is that summarized part. How did you get to that point? How did you get to that point of deciding that you're going to go premium, you're going to go different? That is when you decide it. That's when you break it down and then say, this is a model. These are the. I just love the business model canvas.
Okay, so exactly. So I'm going to come in there and say, okay, so let's just say that we're going with, understanding what it takes to have a working business Canva, right?
Yes.
So like
Yes.
everything that makes it juicy, that makes it like things that you need to start to think about to make it easy for you to jump on it and to take action based on that thing that you put together on the business model Canva, right?
Yes.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So tell me or tell us, right? What does it really, because I mean, personally, I'm an entrepreneur as well. And I know I've gone through that business model Canva a couple of times. And it still feels like this is daunting. This is a lot of work. So if there are people like me listening or watching this right now, how would you take them through the process? Just talking them through what it means. I mean, I know I can see in my mind's eye right now what the business model Canva looks like, right? You know, all the
Yes.
aspects of it, your value proposition, your channels, your what's that thing? Your
Partners, your key partners,
key
your
partners, yes. Your the way the money is coming, right?
resources, your key resources. Yeah.
And everything.
Yeah.
I can see that
Yeah.
right now. But can you just walk us through in this session how to go through, like what are those things to put in place and how to fill in those gaps for people who might want to take that step?
Okay. For me, how I make it easier for myself and for people that I work with is we're still going to have to go back to the model of the model canvas, the template. We're still going to have to go there. But the big deal is that you want to see yourself as people see you. I mean, you want to see yourself in relation to the eyes of the environment, eyes of the economy. You want to put yourself in the middle and then go up and see yourself, see your business from the aircraft, a helicopter view, something like that.
Okay, Ariel.
So yes. So that is what actually happens when you talk about the partner, the key partners, the resources, the things that you cannot but have. You want to talk about the activities that you have, the resources. I mean, value proposition is the first anyway. That's what you're offering. So what I do is this: we talk problem solving all the time. We can't take that away. It starts from value proposition talks problem solving. What is it that you are, I mean, why are you going to be here? So you would have to be factual with yourself. If you're there for the money, it's no problem. Just know that in your mind. You can't put that on the paper, but you're going to be offering the world something to get to get your money. You're going to be offering them something to get your money, but it's good for you to know that we are here for the money. Now, there's something I did sometimes. I just put it down briefly, like how do you know how to position yourself? How do you know how to eventually say this is my business model before you even take it to the canvas? It is by looking, yeah, it is by looking at your value chain. I mean, they look at the value chain of your industry. Look at the value chain of the industry you have chosen. If agriculture is wild, that's a sector, right? But there's poultry, farming, there's fishery, there's fish farming, fishery, yeah, the same thing. Fish farming, there's you know, staple foods farming. There's this. Why am I doing so much of agriculture? All right, now then we have artisans, people that make things. So that is when you consider the sector, then you now consider the industry. Now, why do you want to go there? Why do you want to go there? I like to separate something. You may love the industry. You may just love the industry, and it's different if you just love the industry or if you just love a particular thing that is done in the industry. For example, some people may love baking. I mean, you love the cake world, you love the fantasy of the fancifulness of cakes, but do you really love to decorate? Do you really love to bake? Maybe it's just that you just love to sell the cakes to people. So some people just love clothing, they love fashion. And when you're facing reality of what exactly do I love about it, makes you to know, really, am I going to, there are
Because
people
I'm
that
going to learn how to sew and
sew.
then
Am I going to just, let people just be sewing? I just love to see people sew. I just want to say, I just want to own it. I mean, it is in our side of the world that these things are kind of hard, because even growing up, all these lines we hear of, all these Gucci and Gabbana, all these, I'm not sure that the ones that sit and start sewing, most of them are not even, they're not even the artisans at all. They're just businessmen. They're just businessmen. They just want to close the world. And the sincerity of the matter is, if you weigh your energy, you realize that the time it will take you to go and learn, especially when you now sit on it and start learning, and you see that it's wasting my time. And the fact that I'm not getting it, it may even make you lose your morale, and then it's a lot of energy. So when you now ask, I mean, this industry, why do I love it? Is it because it's easy to make money from it? It's no problem. I mean, I'm done with that stage of my life where I blame people that want money. No. You can just love
That's
money.
it. Just be true to yourself, so that you can then work out a model that works for you.
Yeah, because there's some industries you go to go get money, and then you now go to other industries to build your passion. It's possible. It's possible. But whatever you are doing, you still going to have a business model. You're not going to go down and go and slap people and get their money. So what we are saying is that you have to build, you have to be true to yourself. And it's like, to me, it's like taking a stake. It's like finding a seat and sitting down. That's what, to me, business model means. Find your seat and sit down there, and then do it very well. So I started from problem solving. That is when you ask yourself, even though I love this industry, but what is it that I really want to do there? And then when you're, the fact that you love an industry actually makes you to sit on it and look into it and say to yourself, what is the problem here that we can solve? But two questions. What is the problem here that we can solve? Number two, where's the money? Where is the money? If the section, the chain where the money is crowded, overcrowded, then sensibility says to you that you can now define another chain where the money will flow to it. Because it's like the money is flowing from somewhere, really, but it's going to touch the place next before it touches another place. And when it's like an ecosystem, it's like a pyramid. If the channel is true, if the channel of the flow of value, that's money. If it is true, if somebody can go and through it like our drainage system, if you go on through it, I mean, I don't know, I'm looking for an English too. If you go and make it clear, even the person at the bottom of the pyramid will still benefit. Will still benefit. For instance, everyone, it's going to flow down. It's going to flow down. Imagine the people that are into construction, the quarry, quarry now. The people that stay at the quarry and break stones. Do you know that they're not poor people? They're not poor people because they are in an industry and a sector that is thriving. Yes, that is thriving. So the value flows down. They need them. So it's not about, so if the place where there's this thing called downstream and upstream, if you can't start from the upstream, you even the upstream, downstream, there's something in between the streams.
Look for your middle stream and just stay there.
It's about value chain. It's about the value chain. Sit at it and look at it from the raw material. Where does the raw material come from? And then look at it, and then you'll be able to say, this is a place that is least utilized. This section.
Awesome.
People are not even looking at it so much. So let me camp here. And do something.
I love it. I love the idea of just sitting down and taking an aerial view of the whole business, first of all, before you take it to the model canvas, to say, okay, from A to C, from the raw material to the finished product, what happens? Understanding this stage to this stage to this stage to this stage, and then saying, you know what, this stage, there are plenty of people here. Okay, this stage, there are not much plenty of people here. How can I plug in here? Or this stage, there are not much plenty people. I don't want to go there. You see this place where there are plenty people, that's where I want to go. But just
I don't mind. I don't mind.
And knowing, okay, this is where you plug in and then sitting there. I love it. Thank you for explaining that so clearly. So now I'm assuming that you want to now dive into the business model canvas, right?
Yes.
So now what I want to do is I want to share my screen so that I can share it, so that it's just for people who have not even seen it before, they can have an idea of what a business model canvas is, and then you can go through it. Like, is that okay with you?
All right. Thank you. That's wonderful.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right, here we go. So in case you are just like if this is new to you, then you can have a look at this.
At this. All right. So now that you know where you're sitting, you know you're sitting, then you've studied the industry, you know the value chain. So, let me just start from the left. Now, this is my left, the key partners.
Okay. Cool.
Now, what that means is I'm not at the topmost. I'm even whatever wherever I am. But these are the people that are directly related to me in the value chain. This is now I need to pick an industry now. Okay, let me just pick cake making, right?
Start
Let's
making.
start from there.
Oh
I
yeah.
can I can deviate later, right? So cake making now. Now the reason why it's actually very critical. I may not be able to use cake making because people don't understand that the bakers around have not been breaking it down to the different models that exist. So we still see it as everybody still puts everything together, right? So okay, let me just say. Now, cake making is actually a lot. Like we also have raw materials. You also start from your flour and then your ingredients. We need ingredients to actually make the cakes, right? And then going to the bakery, the kitchen to bake is another is a chain on the value, right? And then decorating it is another chain before we eventually say delivery, logistics. Okay, I'm breaking it down. It's kind of short. It's more than that, but let's stick to that. So when you want to go into baking, say for instance, you just want to set up a company that's going to be baking. You're going to be baking like you're baking bread, but you're going to be baking cakes for people to buy and decorate, or for companies that will be decorating and selling and reselling. So that's what your model is. That's where your seat. That's where you're sitting on the value chain, right? So your key partners will be who? Your key partners will be who? People that number one will supply you raw materials. Raw materials. You can't do without. You can't do without them. Number two, because if you're going to be setting up, in a big way, you are going to actually just have to have technicians, utility managers around you. You can't afford to break down. You're using heavy machines. They have to. So if you can't have them as a staff in-house, they have to be at your beck and call.
Like your
people.
consultants, yeah.
People. Now, it's such a way that even if they can't repair, immediately they can give you a replacement in the case where you are at the middle of a job. Now, other partners will be definitely, okay, these people, you might consider them as your customers, really, but they're the people that the business needs to grow for you to be able to have job to do. So, so key partners here, after a while, you begin to talk about strategic partnership. Yeah, people that must, strategic partnership is in a sense where is in the gig economy where you don't want to have some of these people that don't really do so much of a work as staff members, but you need them to survive in terms of advertising.
So it's like you don't employ them, but you need their services.
Yes. You need the services. So they could be your key partners, they could just be there. And then your key activities are the things you must do to survive. So as a baking company, we must always advertise, right? We must always keep our customers happy. So quality products must go out all the time. Your quality assurance department must be intact. So if you play with anything, you can't play with your laboratory where you check your eggs, where your eggs come in. Your measurements must be intact. So that those are key activities. So those questions they come in when you want to ask yourself what will be the strength of your staff. Where would you hire people more? What type of people would you hire more? You understand? Another key activity that you would have to consider because of the nature of that job is that you cannot afford to keep these cakes for a long time. So key activities will be sales, like regular sales. Going out, you have to be going out to your sales department will be kicking.
You can't bake cake and keep it for too long.
It's not something you feel and be saying best before. The best thing is when it is fresh, and you deal with your sales people must be intact. Like your sales department will be tush. Those are some key activities that I would just want to mention. Your key resources, those are your machinery, your equipment, you can't joke with that. Maybe your customer relation, your staff. I mean, when you sit at it, you can be able to just draft out a lot of things. Key resources for you, I mean, it's limited to what you see. You can expand it. Key resources for a business can be the fact that your website your website will be your weapon. Or if you're not a website person, your structure, your branding will be a weapon. The customer experience, when they come in, something will be a weapon that you must have. That's your key resources. The things that if they take anything away, don't take this away from me. For instance, now you must have power. You must have your own alternative power. That's your resource. That's a key resource. So yeah, so value proposition. That is, it's actually, when you study business model, you're told that to start from the middle. Value proposition is why everybody is here. Why all these activities, resources, key partners, relationship. That's why they're here. That is what you offer. Now, let me just dwell on that a little. Now, I just talked about someone that is running a bakery, just baking extensively for everyone. When you are the only one that just got there, it may be sweet, it may be nice. That's your value. That's what you're giving. You're giving people convenience of at least getting the cakes baked. Then they just have shorter time to decorate and go. Some people may build their business on you entirely by you being their baking department. Your company will be their baking department. So you guys are just calls away. We have another 3 by 4 by you're just baking. So those you're just close. So what I'm saying is, when it is still you can define that as your value proposition. But the moment you begin to see that you're getting 1 or 2 more people, then you begin to also now to refine. So refining is that we are still making cakes, but what else are we adding to it? What else are we adding to it? Are we bringing it to your doorstep? Are we bringing it alongside ice block? Are we what are we doing that others are not doing? What are we doing that others are not doing that they may not be able to do in a long time? Or maybe as we bake for you, we still give you materials to decorate for free. Just do things and just value proposition, just pack it. But it's just what makes you stand out. So the best thing to do here is to make sure that you are always a step ahead. As every there's this department that is called product designers, like production. There's a production department, but what they do is to just sit down designing products. They design products,
product design, yeah.
Product design. They touch it up, add more to it. So they don't sit, or the research and development team, they don't just sit down and be saying, we're making money, we're cool. No. We just keep, so that as they're dreaming of meeting you, your steps ahead. Customer relationships mean, how do you deal with customers? How do you deal with customers? Is it going to be totally online? Is it going to be on site? Is it going to be that you have just like what's this now? Iroko TV that has outlets. They have smaller outlets around, just like maybe Airtel. Okay, Airtel, MTN. What is the customer relationship that you are going to have? Some companies, some big companies, they never make contacts with their customers, and they're cool and they're making money. What is your own customer relationship? How is it going to be? That means
that one is even also a model. Like, they don't want to contact their customers.
It's going to take so much of their time. They will need a staff to stay there. At the end of the day, they need so many staffs. That's why so many staff members. And it's a waste of their money. They just go online and they optimize their sales process, optimize it, put machines everywhere, reply you. And once the experience got in is also cool. Who cares? I mean, who cares if MTN does not disturb my life by maybe you chop my credit? I mean, I don't okay, I don't want to see you. I don't want to go to banks. I really don't like going to banks. So customer relationships, that's it defined. And channels is more like it. Now, for instance, if I run another model, if I run a cake decorating business model, just decorating. My channels could be that I could have a mobile decorator, like a van. So if it may be a do it yourself, we may have do it yourself opportunities for people to come and
Like
you have your cake.
I have the
You have your
decoration
cake, bring
machine
it,
and everything. Bring
you
it,
know, come and
decorate.
decorate. So those,
Wow.
I mean, those things are stress free. So those are the channels of we can reach you that way, or you can come to our center, or we do it home service. So those are channels of delivery. Channels of delivery. Now we can still do these channels of delivery and still not have so much of customer relationships. It's possible. It's just like you're sending robots to go and work. So when they eventually get to that mobile van, there's not so much of hello, hi, hi. The van just opens, they just enter, they do make their cakes, they press a button, I'm done. Put your money here, you're already paid online, you just go with your cakes. And there can be channels and then no customer relationships. There can be customer relationships, less of a channel, just define it, but that's what it means, really. That's what the difference between channels. When you begin to understand it, when you now want to do a hybrid system of business, when you're going online, when you're doing online, offline. So those are the channels. If you're delivering e-products, lectures, channels. For instance, if you're giving podcasts, is a channel. If you're doing YouTube, it's a channel. So those are channels of delivery of the value that you have promised people. So customer segments, I'm sure it's supposed to come immediately after value proposition.
Yeah. Who are you serving?
So this one is like you may have more than one segment. It's truthfully, you just have to face the fact. Money comes from some place faster than it comes. And this question it helps you to be able to really know that some people that you are really called to serve, that some people that you're actually here for. But it may take a lot of time to convince them to get to their pockets. You segment them, keep them somewhere. But there may be some people that buy easily, but buy little. They buy just small, but it's easy to make money from them. Yeah. So, I mean, when you consider your customer segments, it helps to now define channels and it helps to define customer relationships. So there will be different relationship for different customers, for different segments, different channels for different segments, and then you'll be able to say, for now, we want to focus on this segment. For the first 3 months, this segment, the money we'll get from there, we'll use to launch another product for the next segment, or you just sit down and draw a flow of value from this person to this person to this person to these customers until the premium. When you sit on premium customers, it's so sweet. Premium customers pay you, like when they pay you once, you can go and sleep. Next week is another time. For instance, next year, I mean, we don't even mind. You can wait till next year. But we need, because we need, we need funds to keep the company running. So we just have other segments of customers that. So when people talk to bakers about we're going to Cakes and Cream to buy our cakes, we came to Cakes and Cream. Yeah, you think you're the customers of Cakes and Cream? You think that it is because you go upstairs, and go and see their customers, or just call Cakes and Cream and say, next week is my daughter's birthday, and you see, I want red velvet, and then I want lemon, and then on top of it I want chocolate, and down I'll be saying everything, and then I want it to be 2 tiers. You see the mouth, let it tip down like this, and now describe everything. That is then you will know what I'm talking about. But you're going to the shelf, to just go and buy cake that they have made. You're not
Not the real customer. I know the real face.
let me give you this analogy. It's so funny. Like we had issues in one of the houses we've lived before. We had issues with the PHC and the power suppliers. They came take off our wires and all that. So we had to go. The women of the house had to go begged for a while. We had to pay what we were supposed to pay, and we went. So as we were waiting for the main person that would attend to us, so he was sitting down with someone else discussing. Then someone said to us, "See, you people are the consumers. See, the person he's talking to, that's the customer." That is the customer. He cannot stand. Those people
Customers and consumers. So it's good for you to know who your
it's
customers
not
are.
and you know who your consumers are. So those analogies help you to know, and you don't just waste expend energy. You can't expend so much of customer relationship on consumers. You can't afford it because you're paying your customer relationships. You're paying the people that are there. You're paying them. So this segmentation really helps a lot. It saves you a lot of energy. It saves you.
Wow.
You're doing discounts. I mean, you're doing discounted promo offers. You're doing offers, promo, and somebody still comes. You got something at 50% slash. You're still saying, "Did not put it in bag for me. It's not even great me." Like, I beg, just pick that thing and go. Like, pick it for. Just be going. You cannot. The people we want to attend to are the people that will, despite the promo, will say to us, "No, don't worry, don't worry. I came with another deal. Hey, bring your chair and sit closer." But it still doesn't mean that we'll be mean to them, sure. But that's what it means. Now let's go to the almighty formula, the big deals, the big people, cost structure, revenue streams. This is a place where I tell you, unless you went for accounting in the school, unless you have gone to take extra courses on accounting, if you are on the business model, if you got to this point, it's good for you to call in an accountant, no matter how, even if just someone that just finished account, just call them, please. The headache is quite much, Even though they have just started doing the financial plan, no, but we need to know what cost is. Cost. We need to know what cost is. Not even all of them know it already. I mean, the accountants themselves, because we have to blend economics. You have to blend economics with accounting to be able to have a proper view of business financials. Not the fact that, because you're the business owner, the time it's going to cost you. In fact, whatever it costs you to build your business canvas must be put into the consideration, whatever it costs you. Or maybe you have to go through some research. But it looks as though your input is nothing. Your time is nothing, but it's a problem. You're an entrepreneur. You won't mind to. So that's it. That's it about cost structure. You want to really know what are the costs. What are the costs? I'm trying to, read that. That is kind of tiny, but whatever it is, fixed costs. Yeah, please let me put it on the cost side. There are fixed costs and there are a fixed cost and there are operational costs. Fixed costs, variable cost. I just like to put it into fixed and variable, operational. Fixed are the things you do once and for all. Machineries, you want to get in space. That's why I said you have to get an accountant, because when you talk of getting a space, they don't put the huge amounts that you use to acquire the space. They put it in rent. They break it down into months. All those headaches. Me, I won't lie to you. I don't do it. But when they sit with me and ask me, what is the cost of doing this thing? I know what it is. I give them the price. They put it there.
So, but they will help you put it in perspective and where.
Yeah. You see,
otherwise you might not even consider it as an entrepreneur. Like, you don't even think that. So your time is part of it. Your airtime I used to call is part of the
your
cost.
Data, everything.
The data is part of the fuel you bought for generator the day they took it. Is part of
it. The fact that you are one man in 5 departments is part of it. So it said, what are the most important costs inherent in your business model? Now, this question is not for now when you're starting, it's for as you go on. What are the things that will continue to burn your money? Then the question is whether you produce or not. Some things will continue. So whether you produce or not, do you have to always put on generator? Do you have to always run advertisements? Do you have to always pay staff? Some costs are easy to calculate. Those are costs that are directly related to production. For instance, you're not going to put flour, and I'm not going to have to buy flour and sugar if I'm not baking. You understand? But I have to keep my office open. And when Loma comes, the fact that I don't have anything to throw away in that dustbin this month does not mean. Sorry, Loma are people that disposes refuse. It doesn't mean I'll tell them, see, there was no business this month, or PHCN comes, would I have to put off my lights? Because we still have to operate. So which key resources Oh, sorry. Which key resources are most expensive? Which key activities are most expensive? You want to put them in perspective. Put them in perspective. Put everything down. Put everything down. We used to make this mistake a lot, especially when somebody says they want to give you grants or they want soft loan is coming. We're always trying to pity the people and always trying to look like we can manage. Yes, that's it. That's it. We look like we want to say we can manage. Just give me this money, I can manage it. At the end of the day, it goes away into fixed capital, fixed costs immediately. There's no money to run, no money to run, and then there's pressure on the business to immediately start producing. Immediately start producing, and you have not even done anything about marketing. People don't even put anything, any people. Some people don't even ascribe any portion of their budget to marketing. Marketing. Marketing is so broad, so important.
Yeah.
The first 1 month, 2 months, you may just have to run free tasting days, just run free samples. You just say, come here, come and take AC, come and use my Wi-Fi. Just come and do it.
Wow. It's a lot.
Takes a lot.
It's a
Takes a
lot.
lot.
A lot.
So put all costs down. Now, this is where it comes in. Please give me the other side. This is what balances it up, especially when you're writing it as a proposal. Now, if you can prove that revenue streams can overweight, can
Higher
cater
than
for
cost.
higher for your regular costs, not just the capital. Most of the time, people can overlook capital for you. Say, okay, even when we have eventually put this big money, how much would you be using often per month, for example?
Run business,
Yeah, that's operational cost. Now, if your revenue stream, that's your revenue monthly at least on the minimum, if it would not outweigh, if it is not going to be more than your regular
running costs, right?
yes, they're going to tell you it's not feasible. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. So for what value are your customers really willing to pay? What do they currently pay? How are they currently paying? This is assuming that it's a business that is already in operation. All right. Or you're trying to go into the market and look at what they're already doing before now. So if what they're currently paying for, and then you want to add another value for it, would they pay for? If you want to add another value as your own proposition, would they also pay for it? And how would they prefer to pay? Now these days, when you now talk about business, different models, because business model is different from other models, pricing models, marketing mode, but we still call them
It's like having this model Canva you can have this model Canva for every other aspect of your business.
In fact, thank you very much. I thought
you
about
have this for the whole picture, and then you now have each segment, like for marketing, for sales, for growth.
So it's just going to say what are we going to be doing differently in every aspect of our operations. What are we going to be doing differently? How are we going to be doing things differently? So revenue streams, just free. Put out as many vessels to get value anywhere. Just look at. Here I talk about resources. Don't let any resource line value. You have big space. Nobody is using this part of your space. Lease it out. Let people be paying for it. At least for the first few months, when you need to let the business balance itself. Lease things out. Share resources. Machines that will eventually spoil. Now the question is to eventually spoil, whether you use it very well or not. Now, if it eventually spoils, would you have kept enough money to buy it? So we can just get people to come and use it also, and then they pay for it, and then before it spoils, you can actually buy another. So different things, different issues. So revenue streams, carve it out as much as possible. Asset sales, usage fee, list of your price, product feature dependent. You just want to put into consideration how you're going to be making money. That's it. Are you going to have membership? Subscription membership. You can even have it for products. Man, I took a mini MBA course anyway to actually open my head. Innovation. Innovation is everywhere. be wild about it. And like I said, resources, don't let anything lie fallow. It helps you to be able to open up your streams of income, of revenue, and
Fantastic.
getting as much as possible.
Fantastic. Like this is a masterclass. I kid you not, guys. This is not just a podcast, this is a masterclass. Thank you so much. Please, can I take it away from the screen now?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes, you can.
fantastic. So that you can then just round up for us. Wow. I mean, it's been a class. This is a master class. I kid you not. Thank you for breaking it down. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. So what would your, advice be? I mean, you've said something about you can work on it yourself up until that last part where it's really, really, you need an external help.
Okay.
You are not an accountant yourself and all of that. But if somebody is saying, oh, even just looking at it alone is overwhelming for me, what would your suggestion be for how they can go about it?
Okay, yeah, it's easier these days. So many consultants, clarity section, so many people wanting to give you clarity. And then business consultants generally can help you. Number one, they just help you find that your seat first, and they help you find where you're going to be sitting conveniently, something that is okay with your passion, okay with your structure, your family structure, your systems, a seat that you're going to have that is okay with every other thing around you, that is going to complement something you'll not be struggling with. All right, then they can actually help you for feasibility study. Go to the market, check out for you what is in existence, and it is that will help you know how you can now position as a difference. Was it okay, John Billy brought Olakunle and JJ Omojua on a show one time, and JJ said, when you're going into the market, more like say for the first time, especially maybe an industry, you either go with a lot of money or you go with a lot of difference. Either with a lot of money or a lot of difference. It's good to work with someone. I won't joke with. I mean, I won't. It's a lot. You get to waste time if you want to do it on your own, unless you have an MBA or you studied business.
You have a lot. Even if you have a lot of money, you still need to pay the people to help you do it, right?
Oh, that's where your money starts working. That's where your money starts working. That's where your money starts working. Yes, because if you have a lot of money, you should know that you shouldn't waste it too. It should bring returns for you immediately. So get people to do the research for you, brainstorming section. What I just said now, I mean, I'm tempted to go into what we were discussing that earlier, but I won't go there. So just get people to work for you. Consultants, if you are not that buoyant, I don't know what else to say, because I'm going to really be frank with you. It takes a lot of time it takes a lot of energy and resources to say I want to do it, I want to make the mistakes myself. This thing I'm talking about, I took a course on business plan writing, business model. I've studied, no, but when I was studying, I knew I was not doing it for my business. I was doing it for me, knowledge, and share the knowledge. So if you want to do business, and then you have to go and study all these things, just so that you can...
And the time is gone. What time would you have left to do the business?
So do the business. At the end of the day, you'll be tired. At the end of the day, you know so much that to go and sit on that business may not be easy. But what I'm saying is, if your business is what is in your view to start, the cost of doing this is also a cost of it. Don't be afraid. The business will pay for it on the long run. So let us put costs into consideration. People prefer costs of buying things, but when it is cost of paying people, I don't know why. When you sit with someone and you look at their business model and you say you have to employ at least one staff member, even if it's for marketing, they say, where will I get them? What's your stress? That's a cost. You put it aside. The cost of paying that one person for 3 months is going to be a cost, operational cost that you have kept aside. The business will not even be able to pay him yet, but you must put it aside. That is a cost. Not just, we see people as what? People should just come and work for you for free. I don't know. Why can't you just expect machines to come and enter your office for free? Or expect the person that built the shop to give you for free? But when this model requires that minimum of one person should be on the business with you, so that you can be able to mind the business of making the business work. You say, no, you want to go and sit down there. You'll be the producer, the marketer. You
For
are
like,
the sales. How can this succeed? So
wow.
that is
Too
not
much,
the truth.
too much, too much, too much wisdom, too much things to take away.
Oh.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
so, so much. Guys, I feel like I don't want to give this podcast for free. Like, this is a master class that you have to pay for. But because we are kind like that, we'll leave it up for you to be able to understand this. But if I see that the engagement is not much, I will just carry it and go and give to people that need it. All right. So you better please, if you watch this, you better please share with somebody who is trying to start a business, that needs to
Yeah.
listen to this, that needs to watch this, that needs to know what it takes, so that they begin to understand the whole journey. Like, are they ready to go the whole 9 yards? Or are they just going to go and get a job and
And
work?
then look for the
Because
job.
running a business is not base. It's not
It's
keep
not.
play. It takes
But
a lot. It
it's
takes
different from trading. It's
Yeah,
different from trading.
exactly. And you can
Yeah.
trade and still make money. And you don't have to be a
Yeah.
business owner, right? I think there's a
Yeah.
lot of mistakes that were also made, with the message of you have to be an entrepreneur and all of that. But it's a
Employed.
lie that, oh, you get the freedom. No, this is what people do. They leave the work that they do, and then they enter into the business, and then they get
And
stuck
then they see.
because
This is this,
because
this
it's
is
just
what your boss goes through
true.
that makes him
Exactly.
come out and shout on your head. This is the pressure and the tension, and then you want to go do it yourself without so much of cushion. You don't have the cushion that he even has. I want to drop something. I want to drop something that I know will help people. Because when you begin to hear all these things, it makes it look like it's too big, it's too, how can I do it? Then how can, like the disciples of Jesus Christ was not saying, if this is how it is, then we will eventually enter heaven. I think the secret is in partnership, collaboration, even from the beginning. Even from the beginning, young people, you see yourselves, you are there, you went to school together, you guys are kind of like-minded, or you just know that we're on this together, we are in this search of meaning, getting meaning for ourselves together. Now, what you don't have to do the same. I mean, you don't have to have passion for the same business or industry, no, but come together, agree to do this together. Now start with a business at a time. A business at a time. Put energy together. Somebody is good with getting ideas. Somebody is good with administration. Somebody is good with marketing. Put these things together. When you've set up for one person, it's running. It's running. It's not, maybe not, the profit is not there yet. Come together, set up for the other. Then you can be a staff. Individually, you can be staff members it's just interwoven. It's just, let's help each other. Let's not be trying to survive alone. Let's not be thinking at the end of the day, it's like a competition. I don't know. The world put us here. The world put us here. Let us decide to get out of it, and we have to do it together. Together. Yeah.
What a fantastic close. Oh my God. Like, I feel like I just finished a class right now. This is so good. Thank you so much, Oluwatosin. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for such amazing wisdom. So, if people want to
That
connect with you, like, I want to work with this woman, I don't know if I can afford that, but let me just find out and see if something can come. How can people reach you?
um, you know, I just exist on the internet. I exist as Oluwatosin Ogige. Oluwatosin Ogige on Instagram, on LinkedIn, Oluwatosin Ogige. On Facebook is a little bit more longer a name, but in terms of relating business-wise, Instagram and LinkedIn is it. Facebook is, we know what Facebook is meant for. We just use it to gather our people.
No problem.
But on Instagram, I share my thoughts on business, growing
Fantastic.
business, and company building, especially.
I'm going to share the link to your Instagram and LinkedIn page on this podcast and also on the YouTube channel. Thank you so much for availing yourself to be here. Thank you for
I'm
sharing
glad.
such luscious, delicious knowledge with us today. I really appreciate you. I celebrate you.
It's a pleasure. I thank you for also, inviting me, bringing me onto your space.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Guys, you've heard it all. Please, I would love to hear from you. I want to hear from you. what was your aha moment? What was the best part of this session for you? Let me know in the comment section on the YouTube channel, or you can, when you listen to, you can reach out to me on WhatsApp. I would like to share your takeaway with my audience as well, just to say, you know what, this is such a good content and more people should listen. And when you're done watching or done listening, please do well to share with somebody else who you think would need this knowledge. Okay, until I come your way again next week with yet another amazing session with another amazing knowledge, knowledge, what would I find now, knowledge lord or something like that. Just remain amazing, and I'll see you. My name is Ejiro Osakede. Have a fantastic week ahead. Bye-bye.